The Maryland State Department of Education's Division of Early Childhood Development has published Supporting Every Young Learner, Maryland's Guide to Early Childhood Pedagogy, Birth to Age 8, commonly referred to as the Pedagogy Guide. The Maryland Early Learning Standards are found in the appendix of the Pedagogy Guide. We hope you find this video to be a useful tool as you work with Maryland's children. Social foundations include the skills necessary to regulate one's own behavior and emotions, develop healthy relationships with adults and other children, and create a sense of positive personal identity. Center activities provide an opportunity for children to practice and develop these social, emotional, and executive functioning skills and behaviors. Centers promote inquiry-based learning, curiosity, and creativity. The following standards are developed through such activities. Recognize and identify emotions of self and others. Demonstrate cooperative behavior in interactions with others. Manage the expression of feelings, thoughts, impulses, and behaviors. Demonstrate the ability to solve problems. Demonstrate the ability to persist with a task. Seek and gather information to plan for projects and activities, and demonstrate the ability to retain and apply information. In this video, we will observe kindergarten and pre-kindergarten classes. Two factors are conducive to achieving academic success. First, teachers are deliberate in designing an environment of exploration and creativity. Second, they are intentional in their interactions with students, providing feedback, questioning and discussion, and carefully observing children as they interact with the environment and their peers.
When my group was working in dramatic play, they had some of the friends from the art center use Play-Doh to make some of the food that they were hoping to have at their dinner party. Autumn made a blueberry muffin with a candle on top. Cameron was making garlic noodles. She actually cut yellow Play-Doh into sections and had a little piece of garlic and was sauteing it in the pan. Definitely something she's seen at home. Her being able to practice that language and those vocabulary words was fantastic. And it's all while they're playing. The picnic blanket, right? So should your setups, your fork and your spoon and your plate and your napkin, should that be on the, right? Because weren't we having a picnic party? Okay, so go ahead and set yourself up on the picnic. A muffin? Are they gonna have that at their dinner party? Yeah? Is there anything else that you think Autumn could bake for you? What else do you need her to bake?
Like
Do you think someone, why don't you go over and ask them? Go over and ask them if they can make some other stuff for your dinner party.
Can you make some ice cream and pizza and stuff?
I felt like what we had going on in dramatic play was a good example of mature play.
Setting up for the dinner party?
Yeah, so I was just going to show an example. I presented them with the idea of creating a dinner party. And I said, let's think like a caterer. So again, the real world connection. And what would we need to have on the table to be ready for a party for 3 people? So at first, they were just doing all different kinds of food. We need pizza, we need chicken, we need corn, we need ice cream. So with questioning, I started asking them, are you going to put all of this out at once? Right, to clarify. And that got them thinking, oh, well, we could start with bread, and then maybe we could have chicken, and then we could have dessert. So it got them thinking kind of in a sequence of a meal. And this time, I said, I'm going to give you a challenge. I want you to make it a party for 4 people. So what would need to change? So I kind of threw them a curveball.
Center activities can also occur while the teacher is providing small group instruction.
When they have routines and procedures, they already know what to do. They're excited to be doing things on their own, like looking at the workstation board, finding their buckets on their own. They talk to each other using their math talk, and they understand that this is practice. This is helping us be better mathematicians.
So the skills that we really want these students developing at the workstations are skills to work together, those social foundation skills, so that they can wait and share and take turns. And they're also learning literacy skills that are going to be important in first grade. But the first thing that we're really concerned about is that they're learning how to work together and share and be problem solvers. We always review the rules first as a group, and then I pick a workstation helper, and that workstation helper is going to have input onto who else is going to help them. And the reason that we have these workstation helpers is so that the students can solve problems on their own while I am instructing people at small group. Jameer is going to look for someone else to be a workstation helper. They're going to be respectful, responsible, and ready. Could you pick one person for me who's sitting correctly? Logan, come on up, Logan. And Logan and Jamira, I want you to talk to each other, and this time I'd like if you picked a boy, please. So we have boys and girls being workstation helpers. So at the end of the lesson, we come back to the carpet so that we can discuss what you've been doing. You've been away from Miss Pasco for half an hour of time. What have you been doing at that station? So we wrap up by asking what you did, and they show their work, they explain what they did, and the students that are sitting on the rug are checking to make sure that the people who are sharing did everything they're supposed to, so we can post their work. So in the future, other people can see what it looks like to be a good worker at that workstation.
Center time is really critical for the whole communication piece. The children usually are at least paired up, sometimes it's small groups of 2 or 3, and they must have dialogue at the center in which they are. For example, if they're at the water table, they are testing and predicting what things would sink and which things would float.
Oh my gosh, you don't have the spoon mother with you in here. At least good. That's for testing. See now. Hey! This one's crayons. Crayons not in there. Yes, I need to pick crayons. No, yes, there is a crayon. I know. Jonathan just has it.
To develop a plan is important because you should have a purpose in your play. So the children have to come up with a plan or a purpose, what they would like to do at their learning center of the day. So say, for example, the children may choose to go to blocks, and when I ask them, what is your plan for the day, the children who went there might say, well, I'm going to make a house today.
Some flowers grow big and some grow small.
How did you learn these facts?
I grew them. I read them from the book.
Oh, can you show me in the book?
This is what I'm going to write for my next page.
Are these about seeds? Where are you going to find facts about seeds? What do you think this book's about? Yes. You might keep looking. I think there might be a seed book in there. How is this house like your house?
Because it has a kitchen.
Oh, it has a kitchen, it has a bedroom. Anything else? What kind of things would you put in a homework room?
A homework table.
A homework table. What else could you put in a homework room? A homework chair.
I always try to incorporate a lot of questioning into center time, and I noticed today there was a great example where I had 3 English language learners working together in the Puzzles and Games Center, and one of my students had almost like a paper doll where you can put magnetic clothes on them to dress them up.
And different jobs and
Different costumes for community helpers.
Who is this?
A fire truck? Is he a truck? Oh, a firefighter. Wow. He has some boots. What else does he need? Can you ask Emmanuel?
Firefighter.
It is. Do you know what that is on his head?
I didn't remember what to say about that.
It's a hat. Yeah, it's like a helmet.
Yeah, for somebody put a helmet and the house is on fire for the firefighter can get in.
Yes.
And then the fire don't get in his face.
Exactly. It protects his face.
It can fly and help people.
Oh, he flies to help people? Sounds like a nice superhero.
And then he help the police.
He helps the police too. Would you like to be a superhero?
I want to be a superhero and be really strong.
Yeah. What would your superpower be?
A laser eye. I want to be Superman. You have laser and fires when he
Superman's very cool.
In the next several video clips, you will see how teachers have raised the level and complexity of students' play. Students are initially asked to set a purpose for what they plan to do at a center and then make a drawing of their project. The following day, they discuss their project and revise their plan before revisiting the center to complete their new project. A follow-up discussion involves comparing the two projects. The Pedagogy Guide has information about the research work of Vygotsky, Bodrova, and Leone that illustrates the importance of mature play and the teacher's role in being intentional to increase student learning.
Today, when we started talking about bridges, I was asking Autumn and Riley about what they know about bridges, and it was really cool. I told them we were going to do a plan, and Riley mentioned that a plan is like a blueprint. I am a contractor. I am someone who builds bridges. And I was looking at your blueprint, and I like the looks of it. I think I want to build this bridge. Can you tell me why this bridge works really, really well for boats?
It's a really good bridge for boats because there's two sections. Lift this up when there's a big boat, like this.
Oh.
And it lifts it down when there's a little boat.
When I was working with Riley and Autumn today, it was interesting. They were using a lot of different math vocabulary, shorter, taller. Autumn then was talking about the boats going through the bridge, and I kind of prompted her with emotion.
Position
And
words.
she was able to say, oh, the boats can go under. And I said, and then where would the cars go? And she said, over. So she was able to use those different vocabulary words. My other group, when I worked with Rajay and Jeremiah, they did not have as much background knowledge. So I had to end up showing them pictures. So when they think of a bridge, they're mainly thinking of this triangular piece.
Right.
There were a lot of trial and error trying to figure out how to balance it. And Andrew said, we need something right here. And I said, well, what do you mean? He was like, well, it will fall over if we don't have something right here. And he ended up, they actually went back to the table and added in the two supports in order to make it more balanced.
My group did a zoo, and this was their original plan that they did. I had 2 native English speakers, so we didn't have to talk a lot about the different vocabulary going into it until some harder words came up. They knew that they had to have a cage around them to keep them in. It was with my zoo group, I had them compare their plan with their actual zoo. And I noticed that they were really taking a lot of time looking at the 2 pictures, and I asked them to compare and talk about things that are similar and different. Well, are they in a cage?
No.
What about your snake?
No. Uh-oh.
I'm wondering if we could make it even better. What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
So if you could do this again, what's something you would do differently?
Put the turkey in here and make the cages.
Okay, so you might add some new animals, Tyler, and you might add some more cages.
Architect.
An architect. You guys are being architects right now. You're designing your plan. What word are you working on?
Elephant.
Elephant, okay. So do you hear any other sounds? What letter makes that sound?
Is it an F?
Okay. How do you make F? What's a seal's habitat like?
Water.
It lives in water.
It looks like an ocean.
Okay.
Brother, daddy, mommy. Eh.
How are you doing? Almost finished? Can you just explain to me what you changed about your zoo?
I know. A flamingo in there, and it wasn't a flamingo in there.
So that's a change. Okay, that's
We
something
didn't make
different.
bears.
You didn't make bears in the first zoo?
And it was koalas in here, but no koalas in there.
You added more details, I see that. Don't you find with this whole process that the level of sophistication of their play has just increased dramatically?
Absolutely.
Giving them these scenarios and different situations just has really increased, I think, the complexity
City
of their
there.
play and just
And their conversations.
their engagement, their conversations, and they're having so much fun. My other students are coming up
Want
to me
to.
and saying, when
Yeah.
can we do this?
This video highlights the importance of well-designed center activities to foster social foundation skills and inquiry-based learning in early childhood education. Observation and purposeful teacher-student interactions, including effective questioning and feedback, encourage reflection and a path toward improved learning. The importance of play is instrumental in helping students to negotiate and share in a cooperative environment. Additional information can be found in Supporting Every Young Learner, Maryland's Guide to Early Childhood Pedagogy, Birth to Age 8. Each chapter contains a list of authors, research studies, and links to other important resources.